God damn it. Waste, how desperately,
it looks cool. Hopefully
that,
you can see how much,
Hi everybody, welcome to GameGO, a podcast where we talk about video games and whatever else we want to talk about. We're your hosts, H8BitHero and Sonorith.
Hello. I know I say this the last 2 weeks I've said it, but it's even more true this time. We have several pages of news for you.
Several!
Yeah, at least one. Two.
That's what several constitutes.
First I want to talk about Beyond Good and Evil 2. If you don't remember, Beyond Good and Evil was this cult classic PlayStation 2 game, right?
It was that generation, not just PS2.
Oh, right, yeah. It was on
Nintendo,
Xbox.
It was on Xbox. It was on PC.
I didn't know it was on Nintendo.
It got earlier.
It died for a while, and now there's been talk of a sequel. And it seems it's being worked on in the dark. Michael Ansel, director and story designer of the game, he answered a question regarding E3. He said E3 would not be the best place. We're working on the game, so you should hear about it sometime.
It actually was E3 would be the best place, but they can't.
Would it?
Yeah, that's what it was.
I thought he said it wouldn't. All right. I guess I misread it. Sorry. But expect something this year, which, it's a few months. Hopefully we'll hear something about it. Rumors are leading to 2018 release with exclusivity to the Nintendo Switch, which would be a pretty big direction to go in.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. That'd be a nice push for a Nintendo product.
Especially if you could use the camera with the gyroscopic stuff.
Yeah, being that the lead character in that game was like a photographer.
Yeah. Hitman.
Yeah, Square Enix recently let developer IO Interactive go. We discussed that last week. But it looks like Square Enix is still interested in keeping this franchise alive. They're looking for prospective external investors capable of ensuring that these titles carry on. That's according to Square Enix's president, Yosuke Matsuda.
Yeah, it's a kind of a nasty mess. I thought that IO Interactive still had the game, the title, the rights.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that's the case. Publisher still has the rights to that IP, and IO was just working for them.
Yeah, and they even let some people go last week, right?
Yeah, they did. They suffered some layoffs. That was the first indication that, looks like we're not going to keep working on Hitman then, huh?
Yeah, this is hopefully things get better for that developer, or at least the people working for it. Maybe they'll find work somewhere else. In other news, Overwatch Season 4 ended on Sunday, so if you didn't place, you didn't get any of those competitive points, you can get gold weapons with those.
Me.
Finally got my first one. I got Roadhog's weapon.
Nice.
That's cool because you can actually see it as opposed to some of the skins where you can see like the hands for them.
Yeah.
Season 5 starts today or yesterday if we're uploading this on a Wednesday after.
Yeah, today being March 30th.
May 30th.
May 30th. M months, whatever.
But also Overwatch related, they've been hinting at something related to the moon. They've released some images that seemed like communications between the base on the Horizon Lunar Colony within the Overwatch lore. So we're not sure where this is going. There's maps or animated shorts maybe, or a comic that they could release.
I'm excited for animated shorts.
They do mention on top of Winston, there's another specimen named Hammond.
Who was another monkey.
Gorilla. They mentioned that he was smaller. There's some references to a smaller specimen.
Sizes.
Yeah, so maybe we'll see him as a new character. I don't know. Do we think we need two monkeys or gorillas?
I don't mind. Who cares what it is? As long as it fills another role, it's fun. I don't care what shape it is. Dude, don't be speciest.
All right.
Jerk.
But yeah, hopefully we hear something soon from the moon. Rhymes.
Yeah. TwitchCon 2017 happening October 20th, 22nd. Tickets are on sale now. It's going to happen at the Long Beach Convention Center, which is apparently fancier than it was at the San Francisco Convention Center last year or the year before.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying, which is one of the causes for the increase in price compared to the years prior. Online prices are gonna be cheaper than getting them on site. 3-day passes are $159 online. On site is $199. Sunday and Friday passes, well, Sunday or Friday, either day, is for $89. Online, $109 on site. Saturday pass, that one's gonna have that. Saturday is the main event. Basically, it's gonna have all the main attendance and gonna include access to the TwitchCon party. So
Wow.
that one runs for more. It's gonna be $109 online, $129 on site. Yeah, always better
That's
to get it
pricey.
online. You're gonna get it sooner. You're gonna get it. No lines for you.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna attend. I think I'm gonna go and see what's up with this. Looking at a couple other reviews and retrospectives of the event, people were saying good things.
Cool. Yeah. Hopefully it's exciting. Some fun times for everybody.
Yeah, last ever Japanese PlayStation 3 has finally shipped. They're taking it off production in Japan. They are no longer producing it.
Wow.
This is according to a recent update on PlayStation Japan's website regarding their numbers. Their units are still being sold in other parts of the world, so the PlayStation 3 isn't done being sold. It's just the last Japanese PS3 has gone off the conveyor belt. They are closing that, done with producing Japanese PS3s. They're expected to cease production soon as well in the other parts of the world at sometime soon. And the PS3 online services, we should expect those to go down sometime as well.
Wow.
They've been dropping some of their services little by little, but people are talking about now like PlayStation Plus might get the axe soon.
Wait, PlayStation Plus?
For PS3, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For
yeah.
PS3.
Well, it's an account thing now too.
But I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm not working at Sony.
Wow, that's crazy. It's been like 11 years. When the PS3 came out, I was 15 years old.
When the PS3, I'm not doing that.
He was younger. He was 11 years younger. Man, it's crazy that you can like think back to when these things first came out and just the memories that come with that kind of timeline.
It's gross and I'm upset by it.
All right. Well, they're closing stuff down, but Nintendo is increasing production. Close one window, open another door, something like that. Last production goal, the Wall Street Journal reported that they had doubled their production to 16 million. So they had 8 million before, up to 16. Turns out that's even being increased even further by another 2 million. So by the end of I believe March of the next year, they'll be up to 18 million produced. And they're hoping that they'll be able to keep up with holiday demand. I think I read the word tantrum in there in the report. I think they said they didn't want to have customers freaking out because they couldn't find the console to play Super Mario Odyssey on.
I didn't see that. Okay.
Yeah, and it was in quotes, so that might be directly from Nintendo. But yeah, I mean, the console is selling very well. Clearly, the Nintendo's, this is a hit. I'm loving it. Hate, actually. You got a Switch, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. My sister actually was kind enough to actually attain a second one for me. It's gonna be shipped to her. I'm gonna pick it up soon. I think tomorrow they ship.
Oh,
or
man.
they arrive tomorrow.
Sweet.
So tomorrow being yesterday when this podcast is uploaded.
No, tomorrow would be today when the podcast is. Anyway, point is, Hate's gonna have one. Probably Mario Kart, right?
I don't know. Now I got to figure out this Back to the Future stuff.
Okay. Anyway, so just don't warn us about it, or it won't happen tomorrow. Hopefully, it continues to sell very well, especially with Super Mario Odyssey coming out near the end of the year. ARMS is coming out in a few months, and Splatoon also. So they've got a solid lineup coming up.
Yeah, and this production increase isn't coming from nowhere. There is they were selling out everywhere. Demand is high. PlayStation free games out this month. This month.
PlayStation Plus's free games for June have been leaked in Turkey.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So the June games are going to be Life is Strange from Square Enix and developer Don't Nod Entertainment, as well as Killing Floor 2 by Tripwire Interactive. Enjoy those. Killing Floor 2 is a pretty fun time. Grab a couple of friends, shoot a bunch of undead things. Fun times.
Those are just the PS4 games, so we'll update next week when the other games are revealed, because they have Vita and PS3 games still. In Nintendo news, Monster Hunter Double Cross has been announced for the 3DS and Switch in Japan. They haven't been announced for the US yet, but considering how well I think Monster Hunter Cross sold, or Generations as it's known here, it would be kind of silly for them not to. That's being developed and published by Capcom. And if you buy the 3DS and Switch versions, you can swap your data across them.
Okay, so basically 2 versions of the same game, and the save is
compatible across the two.
That's fantastic.
You can also, I believe you can also play, if you have the 3DS version, I have the Switch, we can play together.
That's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, I was able to, when I had the Wii U version, Monster Hunter 3, was that what it was? Oh, 3G, I think, or 4G, I don't know. I would get the Wii U version. My friends would have their 3DSs, and I would be able to host a party for us. Mm-hmm. I think I even went to Denny's across the street from school once. They let me plug the Wii U into the ceiling outlet.
Wow.
And we were able to play while we were eating.
Nice.
Yeah, that Denny's was pretty dope.
Shout out to Denny's. Give us free food.
But yeah, no, I'm waiting for the announcement, because that's a game that I want for this Switch, especially considering how portable it is. Another Switch game is coming out soon.
Yes, Sidebar Games developer just came out,
they created their Twitter April of last month.
Golf Story looks like any other action-adventure game, but golf is the main driving force behind everything you do. Characters are going around literally golfing, golf club in hand, balls flying everywhere, while they're going off doing like regular adventure game stuff, talking to people, picking up missions, dropping off items. I don't know what to make of it. It looked a lot like Stardew Valley, just golf edition. It looked just as crammed with sprites everywhere, but then also like you were mowing a lawn at one point in the trailer.
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect out of this. It really does feel like they're just, okay, let's just make any other adventure game but make it about golf.
It looks cool. I'm interested in it. There's a scene where you get into a swan boat, those ones you pedal.
Yeah.
And then the guy golfs from that onto an island. So I'm not sure.
It's going to go everywhere.
Yeah. And he even knocks a golf ball through fire into an ice, like a glacier-looking thing to melt it. So
it's weird. I don't know what to think of it. I want to play it. I do want to play it.
And we reached out to Sidebar about some of the details of the game. We'll hear back, hopefully.
We don't know who their publisher is.
Yeah. Maybe it's them. We'll see. We'll let you guys know. GTA Online, developed by Rockstar, as most of you know, they're adding gun running in June, next month in June. So they've added a lot to this game online, not to the base game, which I don't have a problem with. I can play with my friends. They've added the ability to create a corporation where it's you and 3 other friends doing. You're basically stealing like counterfeit TVs or money and then selling it. Or you can create a motorcycle clubhouse and you'll drive across the country doing stuff to earn money. This time they're adding bunkers across the city, the county, the world. Yeah, the world of GTA Online. You can buy a bunker. It's probably going to be pretty expensive, and then you'll be able to. It's said to be like a mix between the CEO and the motorcycle club stuff, where you're going to be stealing armored vehicles or weapons, and then you can sell them later. They usually drop on a Tuesday, these updates. So people think it's going to be a week from today, so it'll be June 6th. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. We'll see. We'll update when it actually drops. I'm looking forward to it. And it is free like all their other updates, which is amazing.
Lost Sphere is coming out. Same devs as I Am Setsuna, publisher Square Enix. It looks to be in the same vein as I Am Setsuna, which seeked to be in the same vein as Chrono Trigger, but also it doesn't seem to be so focused on trying to be a game it isn't. Looks like it's going to be another throwback RPG, JRPG. It looks more like its own unique thing.
Yeah, the game seems to be focused on memories. There's actually a literal fog over most of the world. And there's some scenes where the characters are like dispelling that fog. And one character even reacts like he didn't know that was there before, like the town, even though there is like a pathway leading into it. I saw an interview where somebody mentioned that games like this are memorable because of the setting and the story and the characters. And apparently I Am Setsuna didn't have too much of any of that
It was a lot of snow, from what I hear of everybody.
The music was good. Everything else was subpar. And so it looks like they were learning from these mistakes, and they're trying to fix it, basically.
Hayam Setsuna 2.0?
Yeah. I heard the gameplay was fine. And if they do add a great story and characters, and I can imagine it'll be an instant classic.
The gameplay is where I heard it was most reminiscent of Chrono Trigger.
Cool.
And people enjoyed the crap out of that.
Yeah, it was fun. I liked it.
But it got kind of bland, I guess, after a little while.
Maybe if you care about the characters more, it'll stay interesting.
Maybe.
All right. Friday the 13th, developer Ilphonic, being published by Gun Media. This is a game that you're playing as Jason or a counselor. It's 1v7, so there's one Jason, 7 counselors, and he has to try to kill all of them before they escape. That release, it apparently got off to a rocky start. It came out the 28th, I believe.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of disappointing.
The online, it was very difficult to find a match. Sometimes there were connection issues where you wouldn't be able to kill a character because they glitched through a wall or something. Apparently, though, if you can get into a match, it's very fun. I've heard that despite the problems, that people are enjoying it. And the devs are very much aware, and they are reaching out to the community, letting them know that they're immediately going to work on this thing.
They are letting everybody know, no, we're on it. We got the wrenches to the bolts. We're doing this. We're tightening stuff.
Yeah, and if they're being this communicative, I can imagine that they'll get this fixed in no time. I read somewhere that the open beta had 5,000 people in it.
Right.
And so they're tweaking their numbers, saying, okay, we're going to prepare, because this is only on PC, we want to open up to other consoles, so we're going to put it up to 30,000, the expected server load. Within 20 minutes, 75,000 people were trying to play the game.
Jeez.
I think I even read that some stuff was melting on their end because of the stress and the heat and the...
Yeah.
Oh, man, I can't imagine being in that situation. But
yeah.
People seem to enjoy it, so hopefully when they get it fixed, everyone else jumps in and it becomes another, fun game. Unlike Evolve, I think, had some issues, and then it just never took off.
Yeah, they just decided to abandon the crap out of that, didn't support it, left it alone, just let it to die.
Yeah, and then the abundance of DLC was also an issue.
Yeah.
You had to buy, all the little skins, which is really dumb. Guardians of the Galaxy Episode 2, the Telltale game, Guardians of the Galaxy, the Telltale series, Episode 2 is going to be released June 6th. That's next Tuesday. It's going to be called Under Pressure. And if you watched us play it, well, then you can come back because we're going to be playing it also on here.
As soon as we download it, as soon as it's available, we'll get it, we'll have it, start streaming it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully you guys enjoy it.
Hey, we're going to start covering the Humble Bundles every week.
But H8BitHero and Sonorith, you ask, what is a Humble Bundle?
Humble Bundle is a charity-based bundle of games. You pay what you want, and you get a set amount of these games. They usually have a theme. They cycle them in and out. Is it every week or every 2 weeks?
There's 2 running, and every week one of them will go out and another one will come in. Yeah, this one's the Adult Swim Humble Bundle.
Yeah, so plenty of the Adult Swim games that they have up on their site, they're going to be included here. As of the time of this recording, the average was $6.44 to get everything up to the $12 tier. Another thing to know about these Humble Bundles is they're separated in tiers. So for pay what you want up to $6.44, you're going to get Small Radios, Big Televisions, Wasted, Westerado, and Volgar the Viking.
That one looks cool. I saw some gameplay. It looks like it's like Castlevania almost, but difficult.
More
difficult.
It's classic. I did play it, and imagine Castlevania's theme mixed kind of with ghouls and goblins, a whole upgrade thing, and how dire it is to keep those upgrades with you, along with classic arcade platformers where it is gruelingly difficult to just make your way from the left side of the screen to the right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Volgar the Viking was pretty fun. And that's for pay what you want. You can literally give them 10 cents.
No, I tried that once. You have to pay at least $1.
Minimum is $1.
And then up to the average.
And then, which, like we said, is $6.44 right now. And going through the average, you're going to get Duck Game. That game is crazy positive on Steam. Rise and Shine, and Headlander.
Headlander is the one that I'm most interested in for this. You play as a head with the body, and it sounds like a normal game. And then I saw a point where you duck behind cover, remove yourself from the body you're using, and you steal the body of somebody shooting at you. So it reminds me of that Swapper game for PS4 where you can switch bodies.
I don't know if it was only PS4, but yeah, Swapper.
I haven't tried it yet. It's been out, though, so I should look up reviews for that. And then the last tier is $12. Well, no, I'm sorry. The last tier to get new games is $12. You can get a game called Glittermitten Grove, Rain World, and Frog Fractions 2, which looked like a learning game, but then the trailer got hacked and there was some weird conspiracy stuff going on.
Frog Fractions, if you don't know, you need to go find out. Go watch a Let's Play of Frog Fractions 1. Make sure you have a friend and a blanket, your security blanket, because things are going to get crazy and weird.
All right.
But those two games, they're hilarious as hell. They are surreal as hell. They are the name is completely misleading.
Yeah, no, I can tell.
It is completely intentionally misleading. I'm looking forward to Rain World. I had never heard about it before until looking up this thing, and yeah, it looks freaking beautiful. Just a nice platformer. Beautifully illustrated backgrounds, very nice smooth animation on what looks like some kind of white ferret or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, but I am definitely going to be doing Rain World at some point, going to be streaming that. And that was great.
The last tier, you don't get a game.
I don't know that they usually do 4 tiers, do they?
If there's a physical thing, they will.
Well, on this one, it's going to be $25 will get you the Duck Game White Duck Plush, a physical plushie.
So if you like Duck Game and you love it enough to get a white duck plush for $25,
that game had kind of a rabid fan base.
It looked bizarre and fun, but just to note, the Humble Bundle is a charity kind of event thing they do. So when you buy the games, you can decide where the money's going, either to developers or a specific charity within a small selection of them. So I mean that's kind of nice. I usually give the money to the developers.
Yeah, you can get really super specific. If you just don't want to support charity, you can also give it to the developers. If you don't want to support the developers, you can give it all to charity.
Yeah, and then you can even see the top donors. Mostly when we looked, it was all 25s because I guess a lot of people wanted the plush, and you can see how much money the entire thing has earned so far, and it was already up into thousands of dollars. And we checked it like 30 minutes into the new bundle. So apparently it's very successful. If you want to check it out, go ahead. It's humblebundle.com, and it'll run for 2 weeks. And next week a new one will replace the other one that's out right now. Another Nintendo piece of news, they're pretty popular this week. Blue shells in Mario Kart don't seem to be working in some cases, specifically online. Occasionally, we saw a GIF where Link was in the lead. He was about to get hit by a blue shell.
Yeah.
And then it immediately warped back and hit second place.
Psych.
Peach. Yeah. Apparently, it's because of some ping issues like latency. If your ping is too high, then it won't register you as being in first or second place.
Right.
So it'll hit the wrong person. It sucks.
Yeah. It'll animate and everything will look like it's about to hit the first guy. But if the ping check happens after the high latency kicks in, then you're not gonna have been registered to the blue shell. You will not have been registered in first yet. And in those few frames, it'll switch up from being animated to just about hitting you to going on over and smacking the guy in second place who you had just passed and shouldn't be getting hit.
Yeah, that sucks. Hopefully they fix it. It hurts to get hit by that thing in first place, let alone not even deserving it in second place.
No, I did the right thing. I backed up. First place is supposed to get hit. That's terrible. I felt so bad for that Peach.
Hopefully they fix it. A big piece of news, the big kahuna this week is Far Cry 5.
Far Cry 5 got announced recently, and people are making a big deal out of it.
We mentioned it last week, but there wasn't really any reveal of it. Just the
There was that trailer reveal, but that was it. No real announcement, no real information. We got a lot more now.
It's coming from Ubisoft, like the other games in the series. This time you get to play as a customizable deputy sheriff. You actually get to change their gender and skin color. We don't know yet if the character is going to have a name, which I would imagine they wouldn't if you're going to be able to change it.
Yeah,
otherwise, you'd have to name them something gender neutral. You're going to be fighting basically like a cult, but like the religious. How do I say this delicately?
We're not talking about people in hooded robes going.
Yeah, you mentioned last week. These are people that are just devoutly religious and are armed and dangerous.
Yeah. There is supposed to be some political.
Yeah, I think so.
Some political. What are we gonna say? Unrest.
Undertones. Yeah. They said that this group is going after people that are on hard times and like want someone to save them, basically. So it kind of reminds me of the political climate last year, around the election. But it's set in modern times, and as opposed to like Primal, and it's set here in the U.S. instead of where was the island, Rook Island?
I'm not sure
3.
what I didn't get to play the other Far Cries. This one I am gonna jump on. It's set in the fictional Hope County.
Yeah, and that's
the Montana.
Weird thing is that it's not somewhere far away. Some people live in Western Montana and are going to play this game and be like...
These games all start out with you going on vacation somewhere, don't they? Or you're at a resort?
In the third game, you were on vacation and got kidnapped, you and your friends. In the fourth game, you were scattering your mother's ashes back in her home country.
Okay, but you're traveling out abroad. You're out and about on those games. This is the first one that seems like we're going to set a story in the U.S., in local soil, and then have you go investigate it. It doesn't seem like it's incidental this time. It's like you were supposed to be here.
Yeah, although I think you do get called into this situation. The big reveal is that the whole campaign will be co-op this time.
Mm-hmm.
You could play co-op in the fourth game, but it was only open world stuff like taking over a fort or something. It was nice, but it wasn't, it was a half measure, I think.
Co-op campaigns, like featured co-op campaigns.
From the beginning, apparently.
Those
is what
are
I've
fun.
been reading.
Those are good times.
Yeah, this one is supposed to have the most vehicles and weapons than any other Far Cry game. And that includes planes. You're going to be able to fly like a biplane, and there will be dogfights in the air with other planes. Hopefully they pull that off well. I know that can't be easy to do. And especially, I can't imagine you getting too high up in the air.
It's a little contradictory to considering that in the other games, you're straight up in like a whole like country and doing whatever the hell you want. This one's localizing it down to what is like about a county. I don't know how many miles of... I don't know how big the map is.
Yeah,
but it just seems funny that mode of transportation is now available in what seems like...
a smaller venue.
Yeah, exactly.
Like in 3, it was a bunch of islands. In 4, this is a whole country.
That would be way more appropriate.
This time, it's a small county.
The other one you were in the past, why wouldn't you be able to fly there?
Is the county bigger than the country? I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully the map is big. I think they said it was the biggest one yet. Hopefully it's full of enough things. That's weird. But anyway, you'll be able to hunt.
Fishing is going to be introduced.
I think you'll be able to use rifles and other stuff that you might see in a hunting, in America, instead of, going out with bows and arrows and taking down a honey badger.
Right.
Animal familiars will be recruitable to some degree. They mentioned bears and mountain lions, which kind of seems like out there. In Primal, that was a thing specifically because of a part of the story.
It's kind of weird modern day to be like, oh yeah, no, Joe just tamed a bear the other day.
He just gave it meat and pet it on the head.
One of the other familiars that's going to be included is dogs.
That I understand.
Yeah, the feature that they're going to have specifically is taking the guns away from the enemy. I don't know if they're bringing it back to you or just disabling them from having their whatever gun they have at the time. That's pretty sweet.
I can't imagine the dog would just drop the gun there just for him to pick it up again.
For dog meat, go. No, bring it back. What do you...
And you're also going to be able to recruit your own militia. You can have up to 3 guns for hire. I imagine that'll drop to 2 if you have a friend, or maybe you can even get 4 people in on the game.
Oh, man, that'd be kind of sweet if it's just they fill up those spots.
Yeah, so we'll see more. We'll reveal more when it gets revealed.
Yeah, in any case, those are pretty exciting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And they're even releasing it like next year in February, I believe. And so it seems like they're really going to take their time with this instead of just revealing it and then releasing it in September.
If you haven't seen the reveal trailer, by the way, they do a lot of work with some drones, and it's really cool stuff. Like the flybys that they do with those, that they just look really cool. You guys owe it to yourselves to watch it. It's just, less than a minute, the first one?
Yeah, it's like 40 seconds.
And even the second one that we watched, which was like 2-3 minutes. Great stuff. I'm very excited. As someone who hasn't touched a single Far Cry, this one is the first one that is like calling out to me, especially because of that whole like Jonesboro type cult, not exaggerated religious cult. It's great.
So I tried out the ARMS Test Punch this weekend.
How was that? That's something I was excited for.
It was pretty cool. The motion controls feel a lot better than expected. There's some small gripes I had with it, but for the most part, it's cool. I I tried out Helix, the DNA-looking guy.
Yeah,
Ninjara. Yeah, Ninjara, Mummy Master, and Mechanica. And they were all pretty cool. Mechanica and Mummy Master were
Were they the only ones available?
Yes. Oh, no, I'm sorry. No. There was also Ribbon Girl and Springman. I want to say that. Oh, and Min Min. I tried her out once.
Okay,
she's a ramen.
Right. So how many more times are you going to lie to me? Go ahead.
Anyway, there's another test punch this weekend. There's very specific times, like we mentioned. Check it out on the website.
Those are odd. Do you know what's up with that?
I think they want to try to get a fair spread of, like, who's up at the time, and I'm not sure. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I tried it. It was 1 hour each time. I tried it 2 or 3 times. And the characters were pretty fun. Helix, he's very stretchy, so like his jumps look weird. He kind of stretches to a place and then pulls the rest of himself along.
Okay, I got you.
When you let go of the jump button.
Right.
Similar with a dash. Each character has their own little thing. Like the bigger characters like Mummy Master and Mechanica, they don't flinch just from getting punched once or twice.
Right, they're heavy.
And then the punching, if you if you rotate your wrist after you punch, the punch will curve in that direction.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty cool. So, like, if you throw a grab by punching with both at the same time,
but you turn
and then you turn both of them away, it'll widen the area for you to grab.
Oh, nice.
The grab is countered with a punch, though. So if they just punch, like
either, you mean if they hit you or if they punch the fist away?
They just have to punch through the middle grabbing like area.
Can you go around it? Can you go around? Oh man, that would have been cool. Like,
I think they want to make it fair, you know. It would throw me into a lobby basically with like 10 people, and then it would just match you guys up, and you can see who's fighting who while you're waiting, and it shows you like how much time is left in their match. I think it shows you how much health each person has.
Okay.
And then there's regular fighting. There was volleyball also, or called V-ball.
Oh yeah.
And then next week I believe they're replacing that with the hoops, which is basketball. It was pretty cool and kind of frustrating when it was like a 3-man free-for-all and 2 of them were just ganging up on you.
Oh.
Or worse yet, when one person's just hiding in the back while you're fighting one and then they just come and clean up afterwards.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, but there's also like 2-on-2 or 4-man free-for-all, I believe. And then 1-on-1 was, of course, my favorite just because it felt like the most, this is what ARMS is.
Okay.
If you're fighting multiple opponents, though, there's a button, you push like X to change targets, but it's kind of hard to like reach when you're holding it like a boxing glove or, like a fist. But it was cool. Hopefully they add more. That you were earning money as you were playing, but there was nothing to spend the money on.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you can buy different gloves for different characters. Right now, each character only has 3, but it looks like you can unlock all of the characters' gloves for every character if you buy them.
If you just buy them.
Like, I like Helix, so I want the stretchy, but I also want the ability to throw like a boomerang, like I believe Mummy Master does.
Right.
Or not Mummy Master, sorry, Ninjara. So,
okay.
So you'll be able to mix and match the gloves that you like with the character's abilities that you like.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I liked it. I'm not sure if it's worth the full $60 yet. I'll try it again next week, and maybe I'll have a better idea.
I've been on Lisa, and that game is rough. It's an RPG made in the RPG Maker engine, available on Steam. You can get it. It's a trilogy. It's now a trilogy. I wasn't aware of that. I grabbed it because I had seen Donkey actually do some footage on it. I liked it. I thought it looked reminiscent of Earthbound. And then I started playing it, and sure enough, yeah, you're riding... most of the game, you're riding around on your bike, just like Ness would. Yeah, it is disturbing. You start out as, you're just a kid getting beat up for stealing a ball or something like that by some bullies. And you walk on home and your father, Marty, is not happy about the fact that you're beat to crap, comments on it, throws a bottle at you, and sends you to your room.
Does it miss or does it hit you?
No, it totally hits the kid.
Oh,
he starts crying in his room, and then it fades to black there, comes back, and now the neighborhood you were walking around looked like just any other suburban neighborhood, except for your house kind of looked like crap. When you wake up from that point, you go to your room, cry, black out, flash forward all of a sudden, and everything is, apparently there are no women. Apparently there are no women in the world. And your main character finds a baby who is a female. You have no idea where the hell the kid came from, but you absolutely can't let anybody know that you have what might very well be the last female there. He's being a nice guy.
Like legitimately, not like people complaining that they're nice guys.
Yeah. He's he decides to take the baby into hiding, and it only goes well for so long. Like, you know, you can't keep a kid in hiding for that long. They're going to get curious about the world. Sure enough, she got out at some point. Word got out that she was there, and their camp gets attacked. And so basically the game is Brad, the main character, trying to get back Buddy, which is who he calls the girl. It's so weird, the things that they kind of make light of, joke about, and and subjects that they touch on. Like, we still don't. Yeah. Like, there's just, I can't talk about the boss fight really without making some kind of spoiler. But yeah, there's some part where you fight some psychologically phallic, horrible thing.
Yeah, I was kind of cringing. It's weird in the way that it handles the pretty bad things in different tones. At one point, there's an orphanage that this guy's just looking after these 5 kids, and he turns around to talk to you, and one of the kids lights a match. He's like, "Oh, you shouldn't be playing with matches." He's about to like take it away from him, but then he's like, "Oh wait, I'm still talking to this guy." So he's talking to you, and oh no, I'm sorry. Then he lights the match, and he's like, "Oh, give me that bucket of water."
Yeah.
So you grab the bucket, and you throw it on the kids, and it turns out that's a bucket of gasoline. So he's like, "Not that bucket, you fool, that one." And then the camera pans up to another bucket way up, on a cliff. So you go and grab it while the kids are just on fire, like not just silently burning, and then you bring it down, and there's ash by the time you come back. So he's like, "This is the second most tragic day of my life."
Yeah, that's the second most tragic day of my life.
So it's played for laughs, and if you think about it, it really sucks.
Yeah, it's weird how these serious events go. They take on all emotional ranges. They make you. Some of them make you laugh, like that. You killed 5 kids by accident there. But yeah, you're definitely supposed to be laughing when the punchline is delivered that this is the second most tragic thing that happened in my life. Where I was definitely like rolling around laughing. But then there's this other point, where the tone really changes. You get caught off guard, and you have a kid with you, and they take a lead pipe to that kid. And even though in one scene you just saw those 4 kids, 4 or 5 kids, who cares? They're just kids. When you see those 5 kids get literally burned to ashes, and it's played for a punchline.
6 kids. 6? I said 6 lumps of ash, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Good God. Oh, man.
But so after seeing 6 kids burn and them using it as a punchline, in this other scene, you see a kid get hit with a lead pipe used for a ransom, and the tone is extremely serious. You do not feel anything funny. My eyes widened, my mouth was open agape, like, oh my God, I can't believe I just saw that. Like,
yeah, I was cringing.
That's one of the, I'm not gonna say good things, but that's one of the.
They do it well, considering how simple the graphics are.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's being disrespectful and just trying to be shock value-y. This is telling you a story. It's capturing that same kind of weird. There's a seriousness behind the cuteness of all the sprites and everything, like there was in Earthbound, that I keep feeling is like pulling me in and making me want to finish this game.
I think the game handles these situations better because the graphics are like so simple. Like you said, it's not for shock value. This is like they're conveying the seriousness of the situation in sprites, like in not very detailed. Like they're you can tell they're human, but it's not like it's a realistic face or a facsimile of a human being. So I think that's definitely one of their biggest strengths. And there's even allusions to like, child molestation, and it's freaking horrible.
That's where it gets really dark. Is part of the subject matter is that there's some conversations that allude to it, and you're trying to protect things from happening. It does get kind of dark. It takes on some serious tones. It's weird to say that I cannot wait to keep going through this. This is apparently a trilogy now. If you haven't played Lisa, give it a watch. Try it out yourself. This thing gets sad. It gets weird. Like I said, a bunch of men looking for the last woman on Earth for exactly the reason that no one wants to say, but exactly the reason you know. And this is a girl. Like, she's not a woman. This is a girl that they're all searching and hunting for. It's just such a...
It feels horrible to even talk about it, but it's like the game is just so powerful.
Mm-hmm. The guy was not the best at coding this. There's plenty of bugs in it. It breaks, like every session I played, it in some way broke to the point that I needed to start or close the game, but thankfully, save points are well distributed. But it's telling a damn good story, and I don't want to stop. I can't wait to get through it and see how this thing finishes. I'm not going to be surprised if this is going to have a terrible, horrible, like gut-wrenching, depressing ending. I'm not going to be surprised if there isn't a good ending or a happy ending at the end. But I am going to be glad that I went through it regardless of how it ends. Damn it. I can't recommend Lisa more. The graphics are garbage. It's RPG Maker graphics. They look reminiscent to Earthbound a bit better. More like Mother 3. These characters look like they fit right in there, along with the chimeras that were so often found in that game. I don't know what else can be said about the game. The sound, be careful with it. Some sound effects are incredibly loud and obnoxious. Piercing. I'm still sitting through it because the game is still pulling me in. It's quote unquote story, which it's damn it.
Oh man, there's even a scene where some guy. You're running people over in a bulldozer, again, for comical effect.
Oh, my God.
Somebody finally stands up to you in his own bulldozer. He's like, this is my time to shine. This is what your life has been leading to. And it goes into a flashback as to how he was a child who wanted to be a bulldozer driver like his dead parents. And he graduates. They give him the wrong diploma, so it turns out he didn't really even earn it. And then he accidentally kills his wife instead of saving her in a bulldozer-related accident. And then he dies to you immediately. Like, it just... It's sad, but like this, the way that they play it off, it's comical.
They use death in all sorts of different ways in this game, and even permadeath for your characters.
Oh man,
there are so many different ways to lose your guys, but it's great because I don't know how many there are in total, but I've lost about 5 or 6 main characters already throughout my playthrough. I have had no real intention of trying to go get back. Some of them are retrievable, but you end up finding other guys that will just take another slot in your party, and they usually end up working out. That duck, Geese. Oh my God. Geese is awesome.
Yeah, he'll peck an opponent and just explode.
Yeah, he falls head first, and then an explosion.
Yeah, it's a great game. Definitely worth. How much is it?
It's $16.99 for the Lisa Complete Edition, and that comes with Lisa the Joyful, which is a sequel DLC, and the original soundtrack plus art collection. You can get the base game for $10, and then the downloadable content of Lisa the Joyful will cost you $4.99.
Yeah, definitely worth it, I think.
The game is developed by Dingaling and produced by Dingaling Productions. Is it Productions? Yeah. Which I'm assuming is just the same guy. He used RPG Maker to release it.
And it is an RPG, as you can tell from that name.
Games coming out soon. All this week, Wednesday, May 31st, we're going to have Damascus Gear Tokyo Battle HD Edition for PS4. Thea, The Awakening on PS4 and Xbox One. Tokyo 42 on PC on Xbox One.
Yeah, and the day after that, Thursday, June 1st, will be the Arcade Classics Neo Geo Metal Slug 2. It's coming to PS4. And the game Bricks, without the C in Bricks, PS4. It's weird spelling.
Yeah, Friday, June 2nd, we have major release of Tekken 7.
Woo!
We've got that's going to be out for PC, PS4, and Xbox One. You're covered unless you want it on Switch. The Culling, Xbox One Early Access. ACA Neo Geo The Last Blade. That's the arcade classic, right?
Yeah, it's another arcade classic.
Arcade classic Neo Geo The Last Blade a day after for PS4, and Energy Balance coming out for PS4 as well.
And next Tuesday, the day we record the next episode, will be Kalden Returns. This is Sengoku for PS4. Wipeout Omega Collection for PS4. Dark Rose Valkyrie for PS4. Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind, the expansion, coming to Xbox One, PC, and PS4. And Dirt 4 will be coming to PS4.
I almost thought that Wipeout Collection was the game show and not the anti-gravity fast racing.
No, not Wipeout the show, no.
Yeah. So those are the next releases coming out.
So we finally got a reader question, or listener question, I should say. We got a question from Nikki.
We finally, of the millions, have selected a reader question.
Yes, that's what I meant. We finally got a question good enough. No, this comes from Nikki, and it's not the same Nikki that bought Hate's Switch for him. This is my friend Nikki. All right, she asked, when you're playing a game, what is an instant turnoff, and how much time do you give a game before you call it quits? That's a pretty good question. I was thinking,
good question.
Yeah, I was thinking a lot about it this week, and there's a lot of stuff. Some of it's kind of like small, but there's a lot of things that will just get me to stop playing a game.
Mm-hmm.
I know you didn't like the toads in Paper Jam.
Yeah. I have recently accrued quite a bit of games on my 3DS. Mario, Luigi, Paper Mario, Paper Jam. That game, I was looking forward to it a lot. I really am a big fan of the series. I have been since the get-go. When I at first thought it was just going to be Mario RPG 2, it wasn't. It ended up being something different, and it was something great. I'm coming to the end of this series right now, like where we're at right now with Paper Jam, and it's so disappointing to see that they have this feature where you have to collect paper toads to have them research papercraft mecha for you. It's a pretty cool feature of the game, the mecha fights, I mean.
Yeah.
But this paper toad business is disgusting. It is. It is. They are forced mini games that aren't fights, that aren't anything that you really want to play the game for. It's nothing that it really happens as far as why you bought the game, you know? The mini games don't take advantage of the main features of this game. I don't know what to even call them. They're like mini games, but it's more like you're just walking around looking for these toads. The whole premise is stupid. The toads are nervous, quote unquote, and they're afraid to just comply with their heroes, the Mario Brothers and Paper Mario. And so they go hiding away from you. They run away and they're looking for spots to hide, and they're hidden all around as normal objects. They'll roll themselves up because they're paper to hide and camouflage. And it's your job to go find them. Sometimes you have to round them up literally like cattle. Like there is 20 of them, so you have to herd them literally. Sometimes you have to sprint after them. It's just so stupid. All they want to do is be saved, but the only thing they're doing is not that. You know, is nothing conducive to being saved. They run away from you. They hide. It doesn't make any sense. On top of that, to make these the barrier for progression is just criminal when all I want to do in this game is fight a bunch of RPG battles with weird timing for their characters. That to me is the main crux of this game. Jump over, dodge, avoid, then attack with these weird mini game type things. That's all great. That's all fun. The paper toad stuff is just in the way. It has nothing to do with RPGs. It has nothing to do with having fun. It has nothing to do with... It literally has almost nothing to do with the story outside of the fact that it is shoehorned in and makes it necessary for you to do. It's not a skill gate, so it's like the worst kind of thing to just put in the way of the gameplay of this. It's so far removed from why I start the game when I play it. And yeah, I'm somewhere in some snow place in the game, and I don't want to go back to it. I might not go back and finish it. Like I said, there's not a lot of games that I abandon, but just because of that is such a dumb gameplay feature. It's not a gameplay feature. That is a gameplay detriment.
Yeah, sounds like it. That's a pretty big deal. For me, though, it's just small things like presentation. If a game doesn't look good or it doesn't feel right, like it's something you won't notice you won't notice it if it's done right. But if it's off, then that's all you can focus on. You know, like Prey. It's a lot of fun. Those loading screens are just killing me now.
Oh yeah, that's awful.
Like, man, if I stop playing the game, it's because of that. Because I don't want to sit there for like a minute at a time.
And I mean, a minute doesn't sound that bad until you're sitting there waiting for a minute.
Yeah.
And then sometimes more.
It's also kind of frustrating sometimes just getting killed over and over again. Not just in Prey, like in other games. Like I know that's part of why some people don't get into the Dark Souls series or Bloodborne. Because it's just not fun. And I think that's the most important thing a game needs to be. It's fun. When I'm playing Overwatch, if it gets frustrating, I step away from the game. If I'm playing, I played Dark Souls 2. I stopped playing when it stopped being fun. Mass Effect Andromeda, I enjoyed it for a good while. I stopped playing it because it stopped being fun. And really, that's, I think, the way anybody would stop playing the game. Like, you don't stop playing the game that you really enjoy. But it's just small things add up and make the game unenjoyable sometimes. Or just make it so that it's more trouble than it's worth. You know, the payoff to see the story through isn't worth the gameplay.
Yeah, one of the turnoffs for me, like you were bringing up in Dark Souls, is the fact that this isn't the only game, but animation canceling, when it doesn't have it, when you really have to commit to every button press that you do, I understand the potential for appeal there. It's a different kind of playing, and it kind of makes it a bit more suspenseful, and it makes every one of your movements, you can say they mean more. What I really, really hate about those kind of games, though, is that I really don't feel that the avatar that I'm controlling in the game, which is supposed to be some kind of, not necessarily always a badass, but that body is definitely supposed to be way more able than mine.
Yeah.
No matter what. That guy does not weigh as much as me, and he doesn't have he doesn't have an actual stamina thing. Like, he has an arbitrary bar, but until then, he can sprint fucking full speed until that thing is empty. I don't like it when that little guy can't do simple things I can do. If I have a big broadsword and I swing in a narrow hallway, it doesn't take me more than, half a second to realize, hey, I'm not going to make this swing. I shouldn't do that. So I should be able to, like, mid-swing, just stop all the momentum for that.
Or at least when you're readying the attack, like, up to that point, I would say that's
fair.
Yeah.
Maybe give you some kind of poised position where you're ready to do it. I don't know. Something like that. But if I swing in Dark Souls and I'm next to a wall and I happen to be right-handed, I don't know if you can even choose your hand in it. You can equip different weapons to each hand. And if I didn't happen to equip my weapon on the left, that same swing that I'm going to do with my right is going to hit the wall on the right, and now I'm not going to get my swing in there. It never made sense to me. I don't know what the alternative is as far as like a developer doing the animation, but I've never ever enjoyed something where you can't just maybe roll out or stop, maybe guard, something where you can stop the animation as opposed to just you swing, smack a wall that's next to you. You know that you're gonna smack it once you do the swing. That's the point at which you should be able to also cancel that animation to prevent that. And instead, you're just helplessly watching your guy do a miss animation. He's vulnerable. You get hit. That has always been a big turnoff for me. It's why I want to go and give the Dark Souls and Bloodborne series a try, but it's definitely why I didn't keep going the first time I played.
Bloodborne was a lot faster paced. I think there was more. It wasn't that you would want to cancel the animations; they were just faster. Mm-hmm. So that might be up your alley.
Okay.
And then there's even the idea if you get hit, it's kind of like Marvel vs. Capcom 2, where there's a health bar that's draining. Like, this is how much you're losing. But if you're attacking them, you can get some of that back.
Right.
So it's definitely, it promotes a faster like gameplay style instead of Dark Souls where you have to be really cold, patient and calculating.
Yeah. Yes. And like I said, that's for some people.
Yeah.
I also personally think the game is bad, but not for that reason at all.
Another thing that will like just kill a game for me is if a game's unbalanced. Mm-hmm. Like it could be a multiplayer or single player. Multiplayer, For Honor was a good example. There's one character in particular who was just very, very, very fast, and it just seemed.
What type?
What do you mean?
What was the name of the character?
I don't remember. It was one of the samurai types. She had
okay.
She had a Naginata or Niganata. I forget what it's called. But basically in the game, if somebody attacks you, you can block in that direction. Usually leaves them open for an attack. It wasn't the case with this character. They could attack, get blocked and then attack him again almost right away. It seemed.
Uh-huh.
It just seemed that the character was too fast to be fair. And even if you parried the attack, like they'd get knocked back too far for you to even lunge in and take advantage of it.
Okay. So you successfully did your half, but yes. You still don't get the reward.
Yeah. It just, and that was I think that was the only character I was consistently losing to, and it just felt like something was wrong with it, you know? You mentioned Cooking Mama was broken, though, the multiplayer?
Oh, yeah. When I played the first one on Wii, I was so disappointed because I had played the 3DS one first, and that was great. I had a great time with that one. I was super excited to show my friends the Cooking Mama on on Wii,
Yeah,
because
those games are
specifically
fun.
because of multiplayer.
Yeah.
So we start playing, and I almost immediately notice. At this time I was a game tester. I almost immediately noticed there's something wrong with the scoring in multiplayer. 2 more rounds later, and I'm noticing that if it doesn't matter how well you cook your meal or what the rating of your meal is, even if it's perfect, if you leave no time on your timer, you don't get that great a score or as good a score as you would if you were to just go ahead and fail every mini game, every cooking part, every cooking segment
Yeah.
in favor of the time. By doing this, you get a bigger time bonus, and that time bonus was almost always worth more than any perfectly cooked meal.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, so that ruined it real quick. I not only like it's okay, now I know how to beat all these guys who have no idea how the scoring works, but also this isn't fun. This isn't why I wanted to play it. This is not a good product. Having been released like this, it was upsetting.
On top of that, if a game just isn't... I mean, a game needs to be pretty. It doesn't have to have great graphics. It just needs to do what it does well. Like, if it has a bad interface...
Yeah.
It's one of those things you're going to notice, and it's going to bother you until you get rid of the game.
Something basic can really ruin a game. Like, the first time I tried to go through Mega Man Zero ZX. Zero Man ZX Mega Man. The first time I tried to go through that, I think a lot of people already know about how terrible their map GUI is. Instead of giving you just a straight up effing map, the tried and true 2D plane of, locations and relative,
this is where you are, this is where you want to go.
Them,
yeah.
A checkpoint, something like that. I don't know, just landmarks drawn on maybe just, a freaking napkin with a compass would have been more, a drawn on compass, and that's it, would have been more useful than this weird square but hexagonal system of information that they gave you. There was a big grid that had a bunch of rooms, and between these rooms you'd see lines. These lines would connect them, but the problem was that those lines were not relative to their location in the actual room that you were in. So let's say you were in segment H1, and H1 has a line that leads to A to B7 and C6. And on the map, it looks like A to the left, B goes upward, and C goes to the right. Those are not at all relative to where they are. You don't start looking up to look for the door for B. The door might be somewhere on the left for A, but it's not a guarantee. If anything, that one might be up on top in the middle or something. Those lines denote a connection. They don't denote relativity, though.
Yeah,
and
that's awful.
That is the exact opposite of what you want a map to do.
Yeah.
That's not like, this isn't a map. This is maybe like a pathway guide at best. I don't know what that really is, though.
And especially because in that map that I saw, there were no details in what each area was. It was just like, here's a block with A2 on it, A3.
Yeah, each was like, just designated like a grid location.
Yeah, and it didn't help
A through H, 1 through 6.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like to think I'm not too picky, but maybe it's just that developers are getting better, because when I do find a game that has these issues, I just don't have the patience for it. There's so many games now, it's like, I don't want to waste time on one that's just awful,
Mm-hmm.
And like, if a game doesn't even work, for instance, like if it just keeps crashing, I don't have the time to figure out why it's crashing, unless it really genuinely is something on my part. The developer is the one that's supposed to be fixing these things,
Yeah, if I can't do a Google search, a real quick Google search, and get that like a constant crash fix within like 1 or 2 hits, like right there,
yeah,
I'm probably not gonna go through the game.
But yeah, like I said, well, as for the question of like how long do you give a time, how much time do you give a game before you just stop? Like I said, it's just about the fun factor for me. I'm not gonna just throw myself against the wall hoping the game gets better. If it doesn't pull me in pretty quickly, I just probably won't ever go back to it. Like I said, there's too many other games that really deserve, people's time. And that's a valuable thing, the world, you're only going to be around for so long. Don't waste your time playing bad games. Like Lisa, you said had crashes.
Yeah, as poorly done as some of the very important elements and basic elements, Lisa has done them. What is it? What's the guy, Dingaling?
Yeah.
As poorly as some of those things that he implemented are, oh my god, I am not going to stop playing this game. Every time I've played, I have had to reset it. I have had to quit out, close the game, and then restart it because it crashed. The menu stopped showing up. Some of the buttons stopped doing their intended function.
Yeah.
There's kind of one fight. I started alone with a dead guy, so as soon as I got into the fight, I was immediately defeated. That seems like it's something that should have been pre-checked or something like that. There are some weird progression issues sometimes and some really messed up bugs that'll happen. But like I said, none of this is absolute. The game is still, when it is working and when it's doing what basic little functions it's supposed to do, it's doing them like oh man, just Lisa is a good game.
Yeah.
Lisa is such a good, being a good game right now. And I'm going to put up with these issues that it has because it merits it. It totally is worth going through these things.
Another example from this episode alone, Friday the 13th, like I said, the online has problems. Some people, I don't know if they haven't been able to play at all or if they just have to wait a long time to get into a match.
Yeah, the reviews are back and forth.
Yeah, Game Over Greggy. He's not a reviewer. He works at a Kind of Funny Games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Greg Miller. That was his Twitter thing.
Yeah.
I saw some tweets saying he was waiting for a while to get into a match, and then I think he found one and it kicked him out. But I saw another tweet shortly after saying, this game is amazing. I'm addicted. I love it. It's like with Guardians of the Galaxy. Like if episode 1, we said they had some issues.
Right.
I don't remember those issues specifically. I remember enjoying it. I remember listening to the music in the episode.
Okay.
I remember having fun with it, you know?
Right.
I don't remember the bad things. That's, I think, the important thing is that even if the game has issues, because no game's perfect, Zelda's weapons break. That's annoying, but everything else about the game overshadows it. You know, if a game is first and foremost fun, then
it's doing its job.
It has the leeway to have problems, you know?
Yeah, because it sucks how much money can get poured into some of these projects, and it seems like nobody remembered to make sure the game was still fun.
Yeah. Even the Friday the 13th example again, I was looking at some forums and comments. One person was touting the end of the world, basically, for this developer, claiming the developer had, like, misled people and was failing to do their job and, you know, just the kind of person you're going to see every once in a while online. But if what other people are saying, that the game is as fun as it is and it's as addicting as people say it is, and the developer's working hard to make sure that this happened, that it's working, I don't see that being the case, that this is the end for them. Like, it was a mistake, yes, but if they made a fun game, I don't know what, I don't know. The word's going to get out, people are going to buy it, and it's going to get fixed, and it'll succeed because it's fun, so yes, games can have things that are very frustrating and just take the fun away, and that's really the thing of it. You don't stop playing a game because there's arbitrary barriers, because there's crashes, because it's kind of unfair. You stop playing it because those things make it unfun,
That's very well said there.
Thank you.
Everyone's got their breaking point, and sometimes there are other things that'll make up for the things that would normally cause you to reach that point.
Yeah. Overwatch is a lot of fun. Playing with friends, amazing. I stopped playing it for a month. It wasn't that I was frustrated. I just needed a break from it, And it wasn't necessarily because of any of those things. I don't think it does anything poorly. Sometimes it can get frustrating just because I'm, fighting people that are better than me.
It is the perfect game.
Anyway, it wasn't... I don't even think that it wasn't fun. It just... I needed a break from it. I walked away from the game for a while. Coming back to it, it's still fun. It drew me back in somehow. Probably because of Callista. She keeps asking us to play.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said.
Shut up, Callista.
No, don't. Okay. It's fun. Fun is the thing. It's not what makes you stop playing the game. It's what makes you keep playing it. And it's fun. But you know what? Those are just our opinions. I would really, really, on this issue particularly, love to hear what you guys have to say. Email us at gamegopodcast@gmail.com or let us know in a comment for this on the GameGoPodcast.com website.
You're further encouraged to email if you agree with me.
Yes. Actually, we also want to get our Twitter a little more active. If you have a quick 140 character opinion, just tag us at GameGo11, and we'll see your message and probably reply.
If you have a not so quick message you want to send us, maybe it's an image, you can send it to us at our Instagram at GameGo Podcast.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you guys. This is definitely a topic worth discussing. Hopefully, Nikki, we expect to hear from you, both of you. This has been the GameGo Podcast, where we talk about video games and whatever else we feel like. I'm your host, Sonorith, and with me, as always, is H8BitHero.
8-Bit Hero.
We'll see you guys next time.
Game go, game go, game go.
Yeah. But,
it's kind of, yeah.
you know.
Okay. You're very like
Neo Geo.
Metal Slug. So, and yeah, they just are these, so